Hello, hello, and welcome to the fifth episode, if I'm not mistaken, of Naughty Lines, the show where lines are drawn below the belt and sometimes above the belly. Today I have with me a very special guest, Hipr. Is that how you pronounce it, Hipr?
Nah, it's meant to be said hyper, but a lot of people do say hipper. So I've kind of just like it's like whatever, but
Uh,
it is hyper.
Hyper, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Hyper, and they are a NSFW artist on Twitter, quite a large one actually, and I love your art style, by the way. I like very clean. Love
Thank
it.
you.
So, before we get into the questions, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am I'm 21 years old. I turned 21 in July. I'm based in East Coast. I normally don't uh like to mostly do not safe for work art because I also do a bunch of other things on the side. Like I do safe for work art. I also do stick figure animations. That's like my sort of passion at the moment. The not safe for work stuff has always been something I've done on the side, which has kind of grown into something that's like it's actually gotten me like some profit since I've been able to take commissions and stuff like that. And
Okay.
that's really it.
All right. Awesome. So you don't so is it that you don't like to do not safe for work, like, or because I know that for a lot of people who do this kind of thing, who do NSFW art, um, a lot of the times that's not the only thing they want to be known for. Is that the same case here?
Yeah, no, I um when I did NSFW art, I started out kind of just like I mean, I started my alias on 4chan when I started just drawing my OCs on draw threads,
Mm-hmm.
and so once like the draw threads started kind of just deteriorating, uh all of us kind of just moved on Twitter. I can't really speak for them because like I was relatively new. There's a lot of people on there who have been there for a while, so if they are happening to watch this, just don't take my word. But I was relatively new, and I was kind of like the last generation of them before they all kind of died out because of how it was kind of toxic. So, but it was like a space for people normally to request NSFW drawings, and then we moved. This was before the Tumblr purge when they banned NSFW art.
Mm-hmm.
So this was shortly before that, and then once that happened, we all moved to Twitter, or some of us moved to Twitter, and then there's some actually not a lot of them are pretty prominent, but there are a few that actually did grow in the community
Okay.
and who are my friends actually. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. All right. So I'm just gonna be asking you a couple questions that I ask all my guests just to get their view and point on um any of these topics, that kind of thing, just so I can get differentiating opinions on such.
Yeah,
S-
sure.
so uh, one question that I always ask is, why do you do what you do? This isn't just in your case. I guess it wouldn't be just into the NSFW part. It would be also into like your stick animations and your safer work art, that kind of stuff.
I just do it because it kills time. It's the thing that makes me not bored. Like having the I've always had this like inner like feeling, and it's probably never applied, but I'm always like, dude, what if there's someone who's like expecting my art today? And I'm just like, that's why I always just work on my stuff. That's why I just work on it after work, after I do all my errands, after I eat, after I clean my room. I just go on the computer and I'm after like playing a game or so, I have a game in the background. I just draw or animate. There's no like career sort of incentive I have towards it. I just do it mainly because of a hobby.
Okay, and if this were to take a career path, would you follow that path, or would you just want to keep it a hobby?
I'd want to keep it a hobby, to be honest. I've heard those like stories of people just not liking art once they have to do it, like once they have to force themselves to do it, like for like 8 hours a day.
Okay. All right, I can understand that. You don't want to take that kind of you don't want to take that kind of route where it will become a career and down like further down the line it'll be just you'll be burnt out and not want to do it anymore and then you're kind of
Yeah.
out of a career.
Hmm.
Okay. Right. So, next question would be why so I was going to say why art, but you kind of already answered that question.
Yeah.
Um so if it weren't for if it weren't for art, and I say this as if it's a career, but like, are there any other hobbies that you enjoy doing? Like, if it weren't for art, like, is there anything else that you would be doing?
I'd want to like somewhere in that department. I'd want to do some sort of programming. Like, I have all those programs to make music and stuff like that. I haven't really gotten into it as much, but I still really want to get into that, just like on the side, because I do want to make like a game or something.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And I was researching your Twitter for this episode. I do that with all my guests, and I noticed a couple of things that I just wanted to ask you about.
Right.
So I noticed one piece by you, and I'm not sure of the OC's name, the one with the eye patch.
That's Lauren.
Lauren. Okay. So I saw a piece by you where where it says, "I don't want to be horny. I want to be happy." Is could that be like tied to like not self reflection, but like kind of like self feeling, like what you're feeling at the moment?
No. That was just a meme drawing.
A
Like
meme
that
drawing.
was like yeah.
Okay. And that leads me to my next question. Would be, because like you said, this is just a hobby, and you'd want to keep it a hobby.
Yeah.
Um, does it ever? Because I'm not sure about your following on your other media. But like as far as it goes with this, do you you don't want to only be known for this, correct?
Um well that's funny because I have my goal. If I had a set goal, I'd want people to care more about the lore of OCs rather than like I know that's a little weird coming from me who tends to draw that stuff a lot, but a lot of people who've seen my stuff tend to question why my character has the eye patch, why my other character has her eyes hidden underneath her bangs, and like I think that's what I've kind of evolved into, just someone who wants people to know more about the characters aside from the NSFW I draw from them, and I think it's really made people curious. So I've been more of a storyteller in that sense. I host these server events where I make these animations of the characters interacting in like a kind of a story based way, and it leads into other events upcoming where they'll take place. And I've said before, like, oh, you will get to see what happens when Lauren takes off her eye patch in one of the events, for example. And so I want to be sort of that person who inspires people to kind of care about their OCs rather than have their OCs kind of just be like, NSW meat, you know.
Okay, so you're wanting to be more of a storyteller kind of thing. Like it's kind of like the plot of these things. Like you tend to draw a lot of these pieces where it's just straight to the action. But would you like it better if you made an actual story behind it leading up to that?
In some way, I've already have made a story. It's just like the the actual drawings themselves. They're just kind of like I would consider them sort of non-canon. It's just like fun drawings I make for the people who like them. So they're not really
Okay.
tied to the story. They're just fun.
Okay. All right. And so in the future from you, would we be able to expect something like like an overarching story, or just like a straight, just any like a story
Yeah, yeah, of course.
involving like maybe a like a, I don't know if you would do it in a like a graphic novel kind of design kind of thing going on.
Yeah, I was gonna do like because all of my sort of story animations have always been kind of like animatic with voice acted by my friends. So I think it'll be something like that.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, definitely. And so you mentioned that with your characters, there have been some questions about them from people who like your stuff, and
Yeah.
that would be and that would be like, why does Lauren have an eye patch? Like, am I okay to ask you like those questions that some might be wondering about?
You know, everyone asks me those. So I love questions regarding them. It makes me, makes me happy to know that people actually care about the character aside from, their features, their physical features,
Mm-hmm.
their
Okay.
body.
Okay. So I guess the first question that some might have, I know I have, uh, what is with the eye patch? Like, what happened there?
So when Lauren was killed, like you could tell from her stitches, she has stitches on her neck, her arm, and her thigh
Mm-hmm.
on one of them. I forgot which ones, but when she's basically a zombie. So with that, she also has that eye patch to when she flips it to the other side. She has both eyes, by the way. It's not like the eyes covering something that's not there. She
Mm-hmm.
has both eyes. So when she flips it to one, she has one personality, and then the other one is another. So her green eye, her left eye, our left is So basically, her right eye is her like kind of normal dorky girly personality. And then her pink eye, which is covered by the eye patch mostly, but when she flips it, she turns a lot more sort of lewd, bratty, that sort of sense.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, because I saw the one piece with your other OC with their eyes like covered by purple hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. Okay, so there's an example of the pink eye. Okay. And so with the stitches, like you said that she was killed, is this kind of like a Frankenstein kind of thing?
Uh, yeah, she was based off. She's inspired off of Roddy Tops from Shantae. That was her main inspiration. But the eye patch is influenced off of a anime called Air Gear, in which a character has that same sort of functionality with the eye patch.
Okay. All right, awesome. And let's see. Huh. Okay, so looking at more of these, like, so there is going to be some kind of, and we're gonna expect this from the future. Like I said, just a story involving all these characters. Um, do you plan to? Are you wanting to publish that kind of thing? Like, are you wanting to be like a illustrator slash author like sometime in your future, or?
Honestly, no. Like, I have no like sort of incentive to gain from making these stories. I just do it because it's fun. And now that people like it, I sort of can't go back. I do want to give people that answer of what happens when this happens, when what these people are wondering. So I'm gonna give it to them, and I don't look to gain anything from it. I just want the people's, I want people to see it. That's it.
Okay. And do you have any inspirations? Like what or who inspired you to like make this like to do this hobby, or like or inspired you to draw at least? So and adding on to that, when did you start your art journey?
I started to to like my actual one. I started when I was like 10. Like I just started doing stick figure animations, and that's where it escalated. But I started the draw thread thing in 2018. That's when I was 18 years old. So and then it kind of just escalated. I took a hiatus, and then I came back, and everyone's more or less kind of just remembered. So then we all moved to Twitter, and we all kind of just a few of us got more popular than others, but I do remember them all dearly, and some of them are inactive. I kind of miss them. Uh, but yeah, I would say I started in 2018. That's when I made the Twitter. No, no, I made the Twitter in 2019. I started the draw Twitter thing in 2018. That's when I started my NSFW stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But for more or less, I've been doing art for just maybe since 2009.
Okay. And what is it? You also I notice, and I may be wrong for this, but I notice that there's nothing like a, or at least from what I'm seeing, there's no commission sheet of any kind. Um, or is there somewhere that I'm just not seeing?
I deleted my commission sheet because there was one point where I wanted to work on those personal projects, but I kept getting commissioned, and I was like, okay, I need to just calm down a little bit.
Oh, okay. So you do commissions, just not right now. Like
Yeah, no, yeah,
it's kind of like with most artists right now. Well, not most, but there are a large number of artists right now who are kind of stopping with commissions because of these hard times.
yeah.
Um, and that's another question I had for you. Like because we're all going through tough times right now. How has the uh how has this event that's going on in the world, how has it affected you?
I really don't think it hasn't. Like, I have a job, so it's not like I needed to take commissions.
Mhm.
Um, I'm able to pay all my bills kind of just fairly on time. I tend to forget sometimes, so but I do have the money, personal money from my job. I do want to take commissions for that kind of spare change, but I still haven't made the sheet, so I'd rather not do it. And I still want to work on my stuff now that I'm more motivated to do it more than ever. So
Right,
yeah,
okay. And you don't have to answer like with a precise I'm just curious. Your your job like outside of Twitter and such, that does that pertain at all? Does that pertain at all to art, or is it just like
no,
a normal job?
I'm just a cashier.
Ah, okay. All right.
I always do wonder what other NSFW artists do to kind of just inspire myself to see if maybe I could be doing better because I do want to move on from that job.
Right. Yeah. I completely understand that feeling. I was a cashier or like any kind of subsidiary of or subdivision of being a cashier for like seven
Yeah,
years, and it's pretty demotivating. At least whenever I first started, because I was like 16 when I started working as a cashier,
yeah,
and now I'm technically still a cashier, but I'm also not. Like kind of. I can run a register if I have to, but I'm mainly a key holder.
yeah.
But it's neat. Like I understand that feeling. You want to move above what your job is right now, and leading into another question, what would you want that to be? Like what's your dream job?
My dream job, honestly, I've been stuck on that for like a long, long time. Like, I haven't been in school for a while because of just not being able to pay for it. But just after I graduated, I kind of was just like, what should I do? I wanted to do art, but then I like suddenly realized like, no, I would probably hate art if I wasn't able to do what I actually want to do. Um, but maybe something I've been looking into sort of computer science stuff. I wanted to be maybe a programmer or something like that, or a
Mm-hmm.
web designer.
And are you looking to work for like a big company like to do these kind of things? Like is there a certain company that you would want to be a part of?
Honestly, I have no like clue where to go, where to start. To be honest, so I wouldn't know yet.
Okay. All right. Uh let's see. So we've covered the why, which is it's a hobby. Okay. So now I'm going to be asking you about your views on the NSFW scene, like certain aspects of it, and if you've come across any of these issues yourself. Uh,
Right.
So while you were taking commissions, were there any commissions that you either A had to turn down or B just became so frustrating to the point where the person like basically made you turn it down in the middle of it?
I've never actually turned down. I've never actually canceled a commission while in it. I think I've turned down one just because it was just like a commission of like drawing like furry characters. I can draw furry characters, just not like the actual animal parts.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, I would prefer if I just not do like sort of actual canine parts and stuff like that. So then we just settle with an alternative, and we were fine afterwards. But I've actually all my commissioners and my repeat commissioners have all been like great.
Okay. And so there's limits to what you like are there limits to what you put on to your commissions like will do and won't do's?
Oh yeah, of course. There's the obvious like sort of you kind of should already know like those obvious weird ones.
Mhm.
But
Like feet and such.
yeah, I'm not particularly fond of feet, so I'd rather not do that. But if someone really wanted me to, I guess I would just do it.
Mhm.
But there's like the actual no nos ones that I'd rather not do, just like the weird ones.
Right. 'Cause there's a I cuz okay, I don't know how much factual evidence there is behind it, but I've heard that there's a person going around just asking artists if they can do seeing if they can
One,
find someone who will do like scat commissions.
yeah,
And it's like I no one is going to say yes.
yeah. But
Uh
some people will, but
some
I
people,
don't think
yeah.
that would be. I think that'd be in other communities, not I guess not Twitter, at least not publicly. I've never seen anyone like that.
Yeah, I've never seen that kind of like art be commissioned and shown on Twitter before.
I will say that on the draw threads there used to be a lot of people like that. Just a lot of weird, obscure commission, not requests more so. No one would do them, but they would always kind of just say it.
Okay. Uh are there any artists out there cuz as you may have already known, there are some pretty big artists following you. Uh
Yeah.
are there any that that you're I guess happy that did follow you? Like are there any that you follow yourself that kind of gets you more into the okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to draw and such like that?
Um, I really only had like one sort of idol follow me because like when the Tumblr thing was still around,
Mhm.
uh, I didn't have the account then. I kind of just like followed like NSFW artists, and I had like one in particular who I idolized, and then he suddenly followed me. I was like, oh wow. So then he's actually like a good friend of mine now.
Okay. Is it okay to ask who that
That's
is?
oh yeah. His name is Quinn. Quinn underscore NSW.
Okay.
I'm sure
Awesome.
I'm sure he won't mind if I mention him, but
Right. Yeah, and if he does have a if he has an issue with it, I can just cut it out either way.
for sure.
Um so if you all out there are hearing this, then hey, good news. He didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Uh okay. So okay. I almost forgot about this question. So there is the stigma of going against NSFW artists about how in order to draw these things, like in order to draw these scenes of NSFW content, you like the artist has to be horny in order to do this, and people think that artists who only do this are horny mongrels. What do you say to that stigma?
I think it applies weirdly different to certain people. Like you might there's a lot of like how we have personal characters that might represent us in
Mm-hmm.
the I think there's a lot of people in the community who just draw themselves, doing the do with those characters. And I personally think those people are like the ones who are just openly horny or who do it because they're horny. But it's just like me, none of those characters represent me, obviously, because I'm a guy. But it's just like, no, it's like at least it doesn't apply to me, but it's a different scenario for everyone else. I just do it because it's fun.
Right. Okay. So it's basically like that can apply to certain people, just not. It doesn't apply to everyone. It's not like a
Yeah,
generalized kind of statement.
yeah, it's a case by case scenario.
Okay. All right. And what else? When it comes to the NSFW community, like with that stigma. Oh, also, there has been very big talks in the community, fear rather, about cancel culture, and it has become rampant in the last, I'd want to say, couple of months, I guess, because if you I don't know if you follow like Has Been Hotel. Uh,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people are trying to get now that people can't know that they can't get Vivzy Pop canceled. They're wanting to get the actual like TV or part of the streaming service canceled because of like racial allegations.
yeah,
And
but yeah.
s- so like what is your view on cancel culture, like whether it does it frighten you as well, or like what is your view on it?
Honestly, if I were to ever get canceled, because me and my friends do get kind of vulgar. Of course, we don't mean it, but we're vulgar with one another. I'm never vulgar with like people I've just met, but like me and my friends know our humor, so we kind of just like do whatever. But if that were to ever like, just like go in the pub and be like, oh, this guy's he said this, and this must mean that he's obviously this, and I'm just like, no. If I were to ever get canceled, I wouldn't like I wouldn't go down that easily. And on the subject of Has Been Hotel, I've never watched it. I don't know, I just never cared, but I'm glad that their hard work has gone to to good use, because they obviously been working on it for a while. So it's good that their efforts are finally being recognized,
Mm-hmm.
and just all that cancel culture stuff is just whatever. People are jealous, really.
Right. I completely agree. It's more of just the straight up like people being jealous that this person is getting so much recognition and success from a project that they've worked years on, and yet these people don't really do anything, and they're somehow jealous that this person got way bigger than them.
Yeah.
And so cancel culture doesn't really scare you, am I right?
No, I don't.
Okay, because yeah, because you did say that you do this for a hobby, so this isn't a career on the line. If you get canceled, then it's oh well, just like start over, I guess, something like that.
If Yeah, if people want to unfollow me, that's fine. It's just like if they want to if they want to just hold that grudge of me saying something, I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Right, because there was also a scandal uh, on NSFW Twitter about the what was her name? Illuminati, I guess, was her name, and someone made a or no, it was Illuminati who did a uh kind of a fan art, I guess, or something like that of a sexy kind of Illuminati head. It was a head with a sexy body, and they got canceled for a total of like 3 days. Their account shut down and then brought back because they realized nothing really wrong. Like Twitter realized nothing wrong actually happened.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but I've never actually been into that because I'm not really into that sort of storytime animator community, especially the NSFW side of it, or like
Mhm.
just the community of people who draw that stuff. But like that's just the internet. You should kind of expect it. You just turn around. You won't really see it if you don't pay attention to it. And it especially doesn't help when you get your audience on it just for your own personal issue. I think that's kind of stupid.
Right, right. I understand that. Uh So as well, because I've heard a lot of people say that they do like this, but sir, like somehow, and I guess I get it. It's up to personal preference. When people do fan art of your characters, you enjoy that, correct?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, because there's some people out there who will say like, oh, you drew my character without my consent. Now I'm gonna sue you and send you to jail, that kind of thing.
Nah, yeah, no, I hate those people.
So you consider it flattering when someone were to do that, like just
Yeah,
make fan art for you.
yeah, any skill level, just like I always try to acknowledge it.
Okay. Uh, what else? What do you dislike about your work? About your about your art? Is there anything that you would want to improve on? Any kind of features that you might want to work on?
I always envy art some artists just ability to kind of their line arts are very kind of small, and I always envy that. Like if you look at my art, my line art kind of just pops out like just the black lines
Mm-hmm.
kind of just pop out. It doesn't seem natural to me, and I've always just wanted it to be like more thinner and thinner. But I hate the line art process of drawing. So
So your most disliked part of the art process is line art.
yeah,
And what would you consider your favorite part of the art process?
shading and rendering. To be honest, yeah.
Okay. All right. Uh okay. So man, that's crazy. Usually people and obviously it is case to case, but like usually people like the whole like gratifying, oh, I'm filling in these lines. It's going to look so clean.
Yeah, but it's just like the sketch always looks better in my opinion. My sketches always look better than my actual lines. They always look so wobbly.
Okay. Um what is it? So what kind of themes do you want to pursue with your art in the future? Like, cuz I noticed that you have a very kind of anime-esque style going on with your art. Like I saw that you recently did Uzaki and such, and like it looks great. Um are like is that the kind of theme that you want to pursue and keep going with your art, is kind of an anime-esque style?
Yeah, I've always considered my art style to be anime, kind of like that Western influence, kind of like Avatar.
Mhm.
You know, like Skullgirls. Not directly anime. It's just like kind of that anime influence is there.
Right, because a lot of people think that, because there's a lot of people out there that think like Last Airbender is anime, but no, it's actually a Western cartoon.
Yeah, it's just influenced by anime.
Okay. All right. Uh what piece of yours would you say is your favorite? Like which one were you most proud of? And at
Hmm.
least in recent, at least, like so it's not thinking back like a year or that kind of thing.
That's hard because like I have terrible memory. I can't even forget what I drew. Let me look in my account. But the one I definitely worked hard on is the animation I made that was advertising my Discord server event.
Mhm.
Like I said, the like I have the stories kind of laid out in events in Discord server events, which would usually showcase an animation with voice acting by my friends. Me and my friend worked really hard on that. It was like a month or so. It was pretty cool. It had like pretty cool action on it. But my actual favorite piece is just like usually the ones that have dialogue because dialogue is my favorite part of like kind of the NSFW process.
Mhm.
I don't think I have a specific one. I'm sorry.
No, 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 it's okay. I was just curious. Uh
Actually, my favorite set, like I try to divide my stuff into sets, and my Little Red Riding Hood set was pretty cool.
right, I saw that. It was like it was a while back whenever you made those pieces, but yeah, I saw the Little Red Riding Hood pieces.
Yeah, it was pretty
So
cool.
you would say that was your favorite kind of set to do, like all the ones together and such.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, nice. Um and just so I can put this out there, you're okay with are you okay with me putting your Discord server in the
Oh yeah,
description for those who
yeah,
want to
yeah,
join?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh. I almost forgot this. I almost forgot this one. So, of course, you being an NSFW account, you have to be on the lookout for minors that may stumble into your cavalcade of nudeness. So,
Right.
what have you come across any problems with that? Because it's been more rampant lately. I've noticed with a lot of artists who make 18 plus content. I've noticed that there's
Yeah.
a lot more minors just trying to hop in.
Yeah. It's like you can't necessarily help it because like a lot of teenagers tend to age differently. So it's like as long as they don't show, I won't know obviously if they don't show their age.
Mhm.
Just don't make it public, and I won't get in trouble for it.
Right, cuz if someone puts on their Twitter hey 13 and then they
Yeah,
join your Twitter they just follow you, that could get you in serious trouble.
yeah. Well, it's kind of just weird. I've never really understood that because like, why would I get in trouble for someone else's? They should at least they consent at least to viewing that stuff in some way. I'm not trying to defend it, but it's just like
No,
never
no, no.
understood that.
I completely understand what you're saying. It's because I feel the same way when it comes to that kind of thing. You can't control that. You don't know everyone's age. There could be someone in your community that is underage, but you would never know. And so with lack of knowing everything about them, I don't think you could get in trouble for that.
Yeah,
Um,
just as you know, as long as the artist does not like actually groom those minors and say like knowing that they're a NSFW account, then I think everything is like fine.
right.
Well,
Okay.
obviously not fine. I don't think minors should be around, but they should consent. You know how like there's a lot of there's like Twitter accounts. Like I think Bud Light has like a kind of like a disclaimer that's like you should be 18 to view this account, and I never understood why we should have that option. We should have that option when we in our settings or something.
Yeah, I agree. That kind of setting that says I mean, obviously people can bypass that kind of thing by lying about their age or things like that.
But
But
at least in that sense, they consent to it. But
right, yeah, they consent to, oh, I wanted to see this, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Okay. So it does look like we're gonna be uh running low on time now. And for all of you wondering why it's kind of a short episode, I have work in a couple of hours, and it is Hyper's day off, so I don't want to stumble anymore on his day off.
but
Um,
if yeah, just ask whatever. Like it doesn't matter honestly.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
really. I'm not doing any errands, thankfully. So
yeah. I guess yeah, I guess since it's getting low on time, just the closing questions. Is there anything what would you want to say to your audience, if there was anything you wanted to say to them through this kind of medium, advertising, anything like that? What would you want to say?
I always encourage people to because I don't actually get a lot of DMs. Like I get like when I say, oh hey, talk to me in DMs, I do get a couple of people, but it tends to be like just like hi or something like that, and that's kind of it. A lot of people think I'm a girl. That's like another thing to mention.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little surprised because there was, at least because I hadn't seen any of your other content. At least up until now.
That doesn't even apply to the NCAA. Like on the other community, like the stick figure stuff, a lot of people think I'm a girl there too, and it's just like I guess it derives from my cute art style,
Mm-hmm.
which I've gotten from the influence of my friends throughout the years. It's just kind of been that, but the art style doesn't determine the gender of someone.
Right,
But
right, and
I just find it funny every time, and my friends are just like, "Yeah, see," and I'm just like, "Wow."
Yeah, because it's I mean, and it's nothing like it's nothing bad. I mean, as far as it goes,
Yeah,
with it's just like people not knowing, so they make an assumption
yeah,
without knowing actually facts.
yeah. It's funny, but like it's just like when people tend to be a little more upfront and like say what's on their mind, and I'm just like, dude, I'm a guy.
Okay. So yeah, I think that should be it for today. Like I think that should be it for this episode. Hyper, I want to thank you very much for coming out on the show. Like it was an honor having you on.
No problem.
And again, is there anything you may want to either say or advertise and such at the end of this video?
Yeah, I kind of just went off when I mentioned the girl part, but I didn't actually finish what I was originally going to say. I was going to say if anyone wanted to talk, like I don't normally like conversations about myself, but I will talk to people if it has to do with their characters. Some if they have a question about me and my characters, I'll always answer them. I'll always be interested in other people's characters because I think that's what makes people interested in making art to begin with. Is if someone's there to actually to know if they know that someone's interested in their content. That's why I've still been doing art because there's a lot of people who just like my stuff and are open about it. So I know that much.
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, yep. That is all the time we have. So all of you out there, if you want to see what else Hyper's up to, if you weren't already like following him on Twitter, you can go check out all of his links. They'll be in the description. I believe it'll be Twitter and Discord. But yeah, thank you all for coming to episode 5 of Naughty Lines, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.